Welcome to another exciting episode of The Tracers. If this is your first time with us, let me catch you up on a few things. These are The Tracers. The Tracers are a group of kids. Now, not just any group of kids. The Tracers are friends who all live in the same neighborhood and go to the same school. They're known for solving the neighborhood's biggest mysteries. Well, it seems that currently a few of the Tracers are having a problem. Well, several problems, really. Problems that started a long time ago. They're problems that people just like you and me are faced with every day. And in these situations, we don't always know what to do, and the answer isn't always easy to figure out. In the Bible, there is a story about a man named Daniel who lived a very long time ago. Daniel was faced with many different trials, problems, and difficult situations during a culture and time when it wasn't always cool to do the right thing. Not only was it not cool, you sometimes got into serious trouble for doing the right thing. It was quite the dilemma to be in. While Daniel didn't always know the right thing to do, he knew who to talk to. Join me as we learn more about the Daniel dilemma. This is Kate. Kate's a great girl. She likes most of the things that we all like. She likes riding roller coasters, eating cheeseburgers, painting, and knitting socks for kittens. Okay, that last one was a little strange. Kate is having a problem. She's faced with a dilemma. The dilemma that Kate is faced with is all about how to love people the way Jesus would love people. You see, Kate is a very happy person. Like, really happy. Sometimes maybe too happy, if there is such a thing. She feels that it's pretty easy for her to love people like Jesus loved people. She enjoys talking to people, helping people who need help, and giving gifts to some of her friends. These are things that she's really good at. However, her dilemma is that there are a few kids at school who are hard to be nice to. They're mean, rude, and sometimes unkind. When she tries to talk to them, they won't talk to her. When she tries to bring them gifts, they don't accept them. And when she tries to include them, they're mean. She doesn't know what to do. Jesus is the best example of how to love people, and that is because Jesus is love. Whenever we don't know how to love someone or be kind to someone, we should always ask Jesus what to do. All throughout the Bible, Jesus gives us examples of how to love people, how to be selfless, and how to serve others. And that's why the main point for today is I can love like Jesus. You see, when someone is hard to love, Jesus wants us to love them anyway. He wants us to be kind to them because He loves them. Now, He never wants us to get hurt or be in a situation that could put us in danger. But as long as you aren't being pushed around, just keep praying for people and keep being kind to people. In the Bible, there is another story about a man named Daniel who didn't always have things easy. He had to make the choice every day to obey God and love people the way Jesus would love people. The way he did this was he spent time in prayer with Jesus every day. In fact, he prayed 3 times every day, no matter what. Let me show you a story about what happens when we choose not to love people, and then what happens when we choose to love people.
In the Bible, in the book of Daniel, there is a story of how Daniel stood firm in his faith and learned to love the people around him, even when it wasn't easy. Daniel loved the Lord with all of his heart. He made sure to spend time in prayer with God at least 3 times a day. Well, there was a group of men called the satraps, who were a group of advisors to the king. These men didn't like Daniel. They wanted to hurt Daniel, run Daniel out of the kingdom, or even get rid of Daniel. But Daniel was such a good, holy, and kind man that the bad men could never find anything bad against Daniel to bring to the king. One day, the bad men got together and said to themselves, "We will never find any basis for charges against this man Daniel unless it has something to do with the law of his God." They decided that they needed to get the king to make a new law that would get Daniel in trouble. They had to be sneaky and trick the king. They went to the king and told him that it would be a good idea to write a law saying that no one in all of the land could worship or pray to any god, idol, or human other than the king, or they would be punished. This hurt Daniel because he knew a lot of these advisors, and it never feels good when someone doesn't like you or when someone wants bad things for you. But this didn't change what Daniel believed. God was still the most important person in his life. However, it still hurt. It was hard to understand why these guys would want to get rid of him so badly. So, when Daniel prayed, he prayed that the Lord would show him how to love these people who were trying to hurt him and get rid of him. Daniel shows us a great example of how to love like Jesus. He shows us that during a culture when people are mean and hurtful, you can still stand firm and love well.
It's a tough choice to make, but it's exactly that, a choice. Love is a choice, not a feeling. We get to choose to love people, and not just when we're having a good day. You see, Jesus always chose to love people every day, every time, no matter what. He loves us no matter what we have ever done wrong. He just wants to forgive us, love us, and give us the best life that He has planned for us. We should always choose to love like Jesus, even when people around us aren't. That should never change our decision. We should make up our mind every day, as soon as we wake up, that we're going to be like Jesus, make good choices, and love people like He loves people, no matter what anyone else does or thinks. Being a light and loving like Jesus in a world that needs His love more than ever is the only way to make the world a better place. If loving people is important to God, it should be important to us. And that's why the main point today is I can love like Jesus. Join us next time as we journey deeper into the story and learn more about the Daniel dilemma.